Welcome to the Black Sparrow Media Internet Broadcast Network.
You are listening to Linux in the Ham Shack. LHS is a podcast about Linux, open source, and amateur radio for everyone. Now here are your hosts, Cheryl, W5MOO, and Bill, NE4RD.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. You're joining us for episode number 627 of Linux in the Ham Shack, the most terrific amateur radio podcast on the internet. This week, we're sharing news about what's been going on in our lives, as well as covering topics in amateur radio, open source Linux, and open source / Linux, and even some GitHub dumpster diving. It's back. But before we get into that, we should introduce ourselves. For our silent key Russ, K5TUX, I'm Cheryl, W5MOO.
And I'm Bill, NE4RD. And yes, welcome back, everyone. We're excited to be recording, even though a bit late for this particular episode. But that just means that the next episode will record even sooner than normal.
Yeah.
So,
I have two to listen to in 1 week.
So clearly we need to find out what's been going on and what's been delaying our progress into recording the podcast on time. So Cheryl, why don't you start?
Okay, well, so in the food category, I am feeling better after my little lettuce issue.
Cyclosporosis or sporosis or whatever they call
Whatever it is, yeah. So I am cooking more, but it's still brutally hot outside. So I'm not spending a lot of time in the kitchen. I've made some tacos, some Cajun-esque food, some baked fish. Otherwise, that's the end of that list. For computer, Sunday, since we didn't record the podcast, I spent a few hours searching the internet for a few recipes that Russ loved that I had lost. And I found them. Yay. So otherwise, bills, probate stuff, daily stuff on the computer, that's all there. For the radio, I came really close to turning them on Sunday. But I was cleaning house, and I was on a mission and wanted to finish up the house, so I never made it back into the shack. So, yeah, I was tempted. I almost did it, but I didn't. So, and otherwise, temperatures are still overwhelming, as I said. But I did have 3 get-out-of-the-house events over the last handful of days, so it was nice to be able to laugh and have fun with friends. Allergies right now in Missouri are brutal. Mold and pollen are outrageous, so I'm going to apologize now for any sniffling, sneezing, clearing my throat, etc. that might happen during recording tonight. So what's Bill been up to?
Oh, so much. So basically Sunday we did run my daughter to Helena to college. So we saw our youngest child off to college. So now we are, in theory, empty nesters.
Kinda, yeah.
Kinda, sorta. So it was a fun little trip. We got to do some of the parent welcome events and such like that. And the college my daughter's going to is a Catholic college. So needless to say, there was a lot of the in the name of the Father and the Son and stuff like that. So we did have to go through that. Now, only like 50% of the student population is technically Catholic, so they welcome all kinds. They do try to convert them all. No, but no, I don't know about that. It's not that kind of program that they run there, but heavily focused on community engagement, servicing, doing services and stuff like that to the community, and using the Catholic Church as a partnership for obviously making all those connections and stuff like that. But anyway, very cool. Got her moved into the dorm. Dealt with the normal, like, oh my God, I can't find my roommate. Where's my roommate at? Where's this at? What do you mean I have to buy books? Those kind of things when you show up to college on the first day. But we did come home Monday midday after swinging over and just checking on her in the morning before she ran off to breakfast. And I think she's going to do fine. She's doing fine. She just started classes today as we record this. So I think things will pick up from here because she just really wanted classes to start instantaneously when she arrived. So that's primarily what I've been doing. I'm doing lots of stuff at the theater just because I'm directing a show. So yeah, I'm literally downtown almost all the time. Not just because I have an office downtown, but because I'm also doing, rehearsals every At least 3 or 4 days a week, depending upon how bad the cast is. No, just depending upon where we need to work, if we need more time. Today I had new internet installed in my office because my T-Mobile connection that I carry to Hamvention and everywhere else that works marvelously everywhere except for Billings, Montana. Just kind of just wasn't working anymore in the office. It was so bad that I literally had to move all of my office computers back home so I could actually do work functionally.
Nice.
So it was really funny because I'd be like, I have the computers on here, and then I would go downtown and I would remote back to my house to run the computers in the office off of like my cell connection, which really wasn't much better downtown. There's a 5G issue downtown. So today I had fiber installed to the office. I was very happy to have high-speed internet in my office again with no latency.
Nice.
Had my first conference call. It was so great. I was able to turn on the video without it, hiccuping. Committed a bunch of code and stuff like that. So, yeah, very, very exciting. Here at the home computer, I have upgraded to the latest Omarchi, as DHH likes to call it. And I'm running the latest Quattro, the 4.0.0. It did come with a few little things that have changed, including like my some of my settings to fix like Steam zoom levels and stuff like that for the Steam app, because I do game on this particular computer that I record the podcast with. Have changed. Now it looks like I'm a blind person because I can only see like one game in my library list. It's so zoomed in. So I'll have to fix that. I'll have to go through the new settings. I believe Hyperland has gone to the Lua settings. So all my settings in the old comp files have to be converted into Lua, which is a programming language. For those of you that have been modding World of Warcraft since 2003, you'll know what Lua is all about. And what else? Anything else? I think that might be it. No, I can't think of anything else. I'm just busy. So we do have a short topic show for you tonight, and we have quite a few interesting topics on the list, and quite a few those GitHub deep dumpster dive topics in there. So let's get this started. And I believe I said I would start the first one, right? Probably right.
Yeah. You said
it makes sense.
Do it.
It makes sense for me to do the first one. Okay, so the first one here, we're into amateur radio topics. So this is our amateur radio segment, and this one is OSCARLOCATOR Simulator. It's an interactive Oscar locator, a polar or QTH centered azimuthal. God, you gave me all the hard words. Azimuthal equidistant map with the satellite's ground track arc, range circle over your station, and the satellite's footprint. So think of this like all the other satellite tracking apps, except for you have a globe in front of you, and where your house is, and it shows you the track as it would be on the globe. You can drive it live in real time. Pin the equator crossing to choose a longitude, and step the minutes after the crossing, or jump to the next pass. Positions come from a verified SDP4 propagator. Is that what I said? Yeah, propagator. Yeah. I clicked on the link right when I was about to read that word, and I was like, oh, I hope it was propagator, because otherwise I messed up. This is kind of an interesting little web app. It's not. It doesn't look like something you can download on your desktop, but all web apps are pretty much you can make them desktop apps. You can fake most operating systems allow you to run web apps as desktop apps. And it does have pretty cool information. It has 94 satellites in the list, including stuff like AO7. Let's see what else they have here. Is it like a drop-down list? Let me hit the load satellite button. Oh, there it is. Stuff like AO7, UO11, the ISS, NO44, SO50. So pretty much all of the ones that are still up there and providing current telemetry data. So you can find those out, hit refresh, pop in your location by locator. So you can just put in your grid square, your 6-digit grid square, like mine's DN55QT, and it will center the map on your location, or put a star on your location. And yeah, then you can play around with satellites. So it looks pretty cool. Doesn't seem to have anything else really with it. You know, it does future past predictions and whatnot. So if you've already used something like Oscar Watch or G-Predict or something like that, you probably already have a desktop app. But if you need something on the web at a glance, this could be something that fits the bill. That, you know, maybe you're just on the run and you need something. This could be something that would work out for you. So the links to that are in the show notes.
Ooh. Okay, so our next story is the updated technician class study guide has been released. Dan Romanchik, KB6NU, just dropped the updated tech class study guide, good from July 2026 to June 2030. And thousands of amateur radio operators have used the no-nonsense study guides he produces to get into amateur radio, and you can too. This book will teach you everything you need to know to get your technician class license, written in a simple, easy to understand style. The study guide will get you on the air in no time. The study guide includes every single question in the 2026 to 2030 question pool. Related questions are grouped together, and text has been added. It has been added to add some context and tie it all together. This is what makes the no-nonsense study guides easy to read and understand. And Dan is the reason why I passed my tech and general class licenses. The books are super easy to understand. The questions and answers are right there in front of you. And, you know, it has all of the questions in the pool. Related questions are grouped together. Text's been added. And he also has study guides for, you know, general tech, extra, CW, etc. If you're needing study materials for any of that, they can be accessed on Amazon, and that link is actually in the show notes.
Cool. And as always with Dan's guides, you can download the PDF directly from his website for free, or you can order the EPUB book there as well, or you can buy it on Amazon and get a hard copy. So those are always available for you. And I believe the link we have is the Amazon link.
It is.
If I'm correct. So yeah, there it is. Amazon link. So you can find the Amazon link in the show notes. Otherwise, see Dan's site, kb6nu.com, I believe. Yeah, kb6nu.com. Next story is a story that we got. Well, it's not. I don't know if it's much of a story, but it's an FCC call book access. So this is download our PDF call book. It's about a 56 megabyte zip file listing all the active FCC ham licenses sorted by city and state. If you can retrieve your wallet license right now, then you already know why this is a niche. This niche PDF exists. It supports ham radio enthusiasts who suffer little to no internet bandwidth while chasing QSOs, or when your favorite search site goes down for unscheduled maintenance. We'll update it roughly every other month in February, April, June, August, October, and December. I think they could have said the even months, but that's okay. This PDF callbook pays homage to the foundational directories of the 1920s when the Department of Commerce and the iconic Flying Horse Radio Amateur Callbook helped operators find each other for almost 80 years. The old typesetting machines have given way to Python scripts and FCC databases, yet the core mission endures, helping the amateur radio community to connect, share information, and advance the craft. Cue the Victrola and fire up the beautiful Collins. Happy hunting. Other files you can find here is the latest call book there with the ham radio call signs. There's also a call book with all the GMRS call signs. There's also a book with the DX states, territories, and military posts. There's a call book with all the legacy, novice, and advanced licenses that still exist. The latest call book is also with all the ham radio club call signs segmented out. And then they also have some analysis files that are available on the site as well. One of them is the call sign suffixes by popularity. This is on the Park website, the W4ZBB website, and we got this information via Amateur Radio Weekly. So thanks for that notification, ARW.
Yes. So we are now moving into our open source and Linux topics. And Bill is going to let me do both of these so he can handle the GitHub dumpster diving. But anyway, our first one is BudsLink brings advanced earbud controls to Linux desktops. BudsLink is an independent open source application that communicates directly with supported Bluetooth earbuds using Linux Bluetooth protocols such as or L2CAP and RF COM sockets. Instead of treating earbuds as simple audio devices, the application exposes many of the advanced controls usually hidden behind vendor apps. It's designed specifically for Linux desktop. It adds support for battery monitoring, active noise cancellation, ambient sound, gesture customization, and other premium earbud features that are typically unavailable outside Android or iOS ecosystems. The project currently supports multiple device families, including Apple, AirPods and Beats, Sony audio wearables, Samsung Galaxy Buds, Nothing, and CMF earbuds. The application is available through Flatpak and can run across multiple Linux distributions. And the link will be in the show notes. And then our next story is Pop! OS rolls out its frosted glass desktop style for Cosmic. System 76 developers have, for the past number of weeks, been working on developing a frosted glass appearance for the Cosmic desktop environment featured on the Pop! OS Linux distribution. For Pop! OS users, this frosted glass feature is now available and will become more widespread for other Linux distributions once the next Cosmic release is formally tagged. System 76 CEO Carl Ritchell shared today that the frosted glass option is now available for the Pop! OS 24.04 users. Once updating to the latest updates via settings, desktop appearance is now a frosted glass option under style. The Cosmic developers plan to tag their next release next week, and this story actually came out in July, like right before Bill left for Jamboree. So it's probably well out at this point. After which this frosted glass feature should propagate to the Cosmic packages on other Linux distributions. It looks pretty slick. Nice seeing all the effort that System 76 continues to invest in both their open source Cosmic and Pop! OS projects. And this story came from Phoronix, and the link will be in the show notes.
Yeah, so let's circle back on these. So have you ever tried earbuds on your Linux desktop?
No, never.
Yeah, neither have I. Yeah, because normally I'm plugged into the audio interface here.
Yeah.
Because like if you use Bluetooth device, the delay between the device and the microphone echoing back in the device so you can hear yourself is too far for podcasting with it. And if you watch all the people on the news outfits, they have the earbud in while they're remote and stuff like that, getting directions from the studio, but they're not hearing themselves back in that, so because they would probably go apeshit crazy hearing like a 50 millisecond delay back into their headset. And frosted glass, man, I don't know about this. This is it sounds too close to liquid glass to me. And which of course is Apple's new kind of UI, shiny new UI that they called it, right? I believe it's called Liquid Glass, right? Let's see, Liquid Glass Apple. Yes, and they came out with that last year. So, I wouldn't be surprised if there might be some pushback on it, but maybe there already is, and since I haven't even researched this topic, it would be interesting to see.
Yeah,
because it's definitely a play on Apple's liquid glass that I think a lot of people hate. Anyway, now we're on to our Linux and the Ham Shack topics, and Cheryl has found the most dumpster dive ever. No, I'm just kidding. She's
not wrong. So.
She's found a lot of projects, and it's just like we said on the last episode. Yeah, this is an easy way to find stuff that people aren't talking about and maybe haven't surfaced quite yet to the Amateur Radio Weeklies and to some of the other outlets that look at perhaps specific news sources like Reddit or Phoronix and stuff like that. But anyway, so we have 4 projects here that Cheryl has picked out. I have looked at them all with a bot to see exactly what kind of security code review needed to be occurring and what level of problems there are. I just basically put in the vulnerabilities on these that appeared, and I did not put like the medium high or anything else like that because sometimes that doesn't mean anything to people. First one here is QsoRipper. It says this is a high-performance ham radio logging platform built around the shared gRPC slash protobuf contracts, interchangeable engine hosts, and keyboard-first clients. This is a Rust-based application, so you know it's built by Claude, and it has a MIT license. And I'm just kind of looking on the GitHub site here for some screenshots, and I don't see any screenshots. So I'm not going to run this, but I will say that Claude took a rip through it, and it found nothing in the security code review. It said none met the high confidence of greater than 80% exploitability bar. So apparently it's in good hands here. I mean, you can expect that generally Rust is clean compiling and everything else like that, but sometimes when you have too many of certain types of variables, you can run into issues with this. But anyway, this looks kind of interesting. I might actually check this out since it did pass the security code review. Just because we can never have enough logging applications. It's interesting that it uses a gRPC contracts, because I'm assuming it has its contracts with itself, so that means it probably spins up a microservice for itself, and it uses gRPC to be highly efficient to transport the data from the UI, which I thought it was a terminal user interface, and the API. So yeah, definitely worth some inspection to see exactly which crates and whatnot that have been selected to be part of that project. The second one here is called POTACAT, and I'm almost certain we have mentioned POTACAT in the past. Maybe it was just in passing, perhaps. This is let's see, POTACAT. It's a hunt, POTA, SOTA, and DX faster. See every spot, click once, and your radio tunes. Much like most other applications, including the one that we just talked about the other day with the Sebastian. So yeah, so POTACAT is a desktop app for amateur radio operators that aggregate real-time spots from every major activity and network into one filterable table and an interactive map. Then tunes your rig to any spot with a single click via cat control. Log the QSO, push the spots to your PAN adapter. Okay. Run FT8. I don't think you'd push spots to your PAN adapter, but okay, whatever. And you're away from the shack. Operate the whole station. Audio PTT logging from your phone or browser. So hey, here you go. That's the winner. Totally remote your station via this piece of software. It works with Flex Radio, ICOM, Yaesu, Kenwood, and 200 plus other rigs via Hamlib. It runs on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux, including Raspberry Pi. It is C-based and GPL3 licensed. And code review came back with 7 vulnerabilities on this. It has some stored XSS via DX cluster and POTA spot fields. It renders spots in the rendering spot pop-ups. So yeah, that nice feature they talk about has a vulnerability in it. Has a vulnerability 2 and a guest pass VFO lock bypass via apply VFO profile. Has a vulnerability 3 TX enable TX power gate bypass via CW key. So this is interesting. Vulnerability 4 is an arbitrary file read, write, and delete via voice macro index. Sounds bad. Vulnerability 5, a remote launcher server authenticates with the operator's public call sign. It's in the scripts launcher. So yeah, take a look at that one. That one looks bad. Vulnerability 6 is path traversal in the profile switch archive. This only affects Windows directories, but it's still there. And then finally has a vulnerability 7. It's stored XSS in the EchoCat directory cards. And if I remember correctly, XSS is for cross-site scripting. And yeah, so how an XSS sort of works, attackers can hide malicious code, normally JavaScript, inside of input fields, comments, or links, and then the user loads a page, clicks a link, and then bad stuff happens. So yeah, normally not good to have cross-site scripting. stuff to occur inside of your application. So, yeah, I would have a look at that before you put this in, some kind of desktop or web situation in which you care about all the data on the box. Because anytime you have any vulnerabilities, that means there is a possibility you could lose access to your system through that. Anyway, so that's POTACAT. Our next one is Hello Contest. This is almost like Hello Kitty. Let's see here. It's a simple amateur radio contest logger for Linux. It's written in Go and uses the Qt 6 mapping, MIQT, for the UI. The main focus is on CW contest on HF, but it should also work for single sideband and RIDI contests. It's Go based. It's MIT licensed, and I'm just looking at the user interface here. It looks pretty decent. It's pretty simple. Nothing super special. I'd be interested to see exactly what they're talking about with RIDI and whether they actually have a RIDI UI or you're using something else for that. Strangely enough, they don't show us a screenshot for the with RIDI in it. So this one might take I might have to take a peek at this just to kind of see what they did with that, if they actually fully enabled RIDI contesting in it. This one did have one vulnerability that came up. It has a CSRF, so that's a cross-site request forgery. And in my notes, I spelled that wrong, on a local remote control HTTP server. So yeah, bad. Fix it. That's an easy fix. So hello contest, and let's see the final one, and then we can get past this segment. Is Rayfall. It's a QRZ, a logbook map viewer. So for those of you that actually use the QRZ logbook, this might be of some interest to you. Rayfall is a dynamic ham radio mapping interface that pulls your logbook data from QRZ and plots your QSOs in an interactive leaflet map. You can explore contacts by date range, filter by band and mode, and visually analyze your contacts across different locations and timeframes. It is HTML based and MIT licensed. And here we go. Into the security code review. We have two vulnerabilities. Guess what? They're both cross-site scripting. So one's via unescaped QSO fields and the leaflet marker pop-ups, and the other one's via unescaped QSO fields in the filter and legend labels. So again, very, very simple fixes in those. Please, if you're using Claude and whatever bots you are to write the software, make sure you have an agent doing just security code review, and do that before you publish it to main. Don't put security issues directly into your main repository. Save that for branches. Anyway, thank you very much, Cheryl, for finding all of these for us. What was the magic sauce for searching for this? Did you use a certain set of keywords, or just amateur radio, or?
I went into GitHub and entered amateur radio, and yeah, this was
lo and behold.
Started popping up.
Sorted by recent, or
no,
or best match?
Probably best match is what I used.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so normally I do like the recently updated to kind of get the real juicy broken stuff.
Well, no, yeah, and I actually kind of went through that list and went, oh, this hasn't been touched in 6 months or a year or whatever. So I guess it was a combination of amateur radio and current. Yeah,
you did a little extra filtering by looking at it and saying, this is stale. This is stale. Okay, good. Yeah, good. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. That's good information.
Cool. So,
well, let's move on to announcements and feedback.
All righty then. As usual, we need support for the show. You can do that via Patreon, PayPal, merch, sharing our presence on the podcast via social media, and rating us in your podcast application. We always need feedback. Always. So comments, questions, show topic ideas, email us at info@lhspodcast.info. And again, there will be a memorial service at our home in Mount Vernon, Missouri on November 1st for Russ. Everyone is welcome. If you'd like to join us, please send email to info@lhspodcast.info, and we'll send you more info obviously. Or there's an LHS, a Facebook event page, and that's lhs.fyi/mem, MEM. So you can get shipped over to Facebook so you can see the whole thing. So, And now we're down to feedback.
Yeah, and I think people have taken note that we need your feedback because we have 3 pieces of feedback. Granted, one comes from the same person. 2 of them came from the same person, I mean.
Yeah.
So the first one came from Tom Foy, our good friend of the podcast here, and for hi, or something like that, HAI, on episode number 625 through Facebook. He said, listen to that one on the plane. Got to check it out. I'm kind of sick of some of the logging apps I've been using. I love the idea of starting a new operation and not starting a whole new log. Plus, I can stop running Windows /N1MM plus on my x86 Mac Mini here in the shacks. So again, go back to Linux. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And 625 is our episode with K2 ID, right? Yeah. That's let's see, what is the title of it? Because I made a long title, didn't I? I was one of those fancy ones. 625, yes. Sebastian Del Monte, KI2D, the Halo Next Edition episode. So check that out if you haven't listened to it yet. Please do. It looks like we've had quite a few listens on it already. So we'd like to see that uptick when we have an awesome guest to join us. So please give us feedback. And hey, if you have a guest that you would like us to have on the show, please send them our way and have them send us an email at info@lhspodcast.info. Our second bit of feedback came from John. Oh, actually, our second and third ones came from Jonathan Rhodes, KD2HBV. He sent us a couple via email here. The first one is a ham topic idea. And so let's see what he says here. He says, hello again. Thanks for answering my question about tuning a dipole antenna based on SWR readings. That was great help in getting on the air with my portable QRP ZBit X. I realize that there are many types of antennas used for portable QRP operations, but from what I've read, the end-fed half-wave and the end-fed random wire antennas are the most common. Both are always within my ability for homebrewing, should I need to. I do have an ATU 10 tuner, so I could go with either one. What are the pros and cons of both? Or perhaps there is something even better I'm missing. Well, I mean, if you follow the Discord channel here, you'll see Mr. KJ5T, Poto activator in residence, along with was it AC4FS? Do lots of the potoing. And they talk all about the operation and antennas that they use and stuff like that. Electrically, I will say that an end-fed half-wave being a half-wave, a perfectly tuned antenna for a specific band, or perhaps multiple bands in some cases, if it's one of those specific antennas, would be ideal. A simple long wire, random wire end fed does come with losing some power, so you have some efficiency loss. It's not necessarily the worst antenna. I mean, I use one all the time and it works fine. But like you're talking about 2 different things sort of that are the same kind of antenna. One is being a tuned antenna that doesn't have those efficiency losses, and the one is not tuned and has those efficiency losses in it. So you instantly are going to lose some power. You're instantly going to lose some reception. So like it affects losses in both directions, receive and transmit. So, keep that in mind when you use one of those random wire antennas. They're great because they can work on multiple bands. But the actual half wave one is meant to work on the band you have it for. And you can make like a multi-banded end-fed half wave yourself, just making like one half wave antenna and then using clip-ons to elongate the wire on the other end. The key would be to have a longer piece of coax for the lower bands to offset that balance on the antenna, because you still kind of need that coax to pretend to be the counterpoise even in a half wave, end-fed half wave antenna. And I kind of elongated my explanation there so I can get Steve's comment from the chat room, because he was busily typing and does not type as fast as I speak. So here's what Steve says. He says, depends on the goals. I like the random wire with a 9-to-1 for band hopping and less wire to string up. Yes, exactly. But a linked dipole or end-fed halfway that is reasonable, or that is resonant, of course, will be more efficient. So yeah, exactly what I said. Yeah, you have to. It's a trade-off. It's always a trade-off. And if you can use a more efficient antenna, use one. If it makes sense to use one, use one. Like I literally have an N6BT that I use when I do those kind of activations. I don't do POTA that much, sorry, but like when I've done like the 5QP or whatever, the 7QP contest for the 7-area QSO party, I go portable and I use an antenna that is 94% efficient on 20 meters and pretty much higher on the other bands. It doesn't have 40 meters at all, but I normally don't work those bands at night. But the higher efficiency antenna is always going to be better, but you have to be practical. Like what makes the most sense? I only want to throw one piece of wire up in the air. I don't want to touch it again. Maybe that long wire with the 9-to-1 is the best option because you can work the world on it. I'm using it right now. You can work the world on it. I've worked 8,000 miles from my house on QRP levels. So it's totally possible, and you can do it in the field too. It just there's other factors at play there. Okay, what's the second one? The second one I think we're going to have Cheryl answer.
Okay.
Actually, Cheryl, why don't you run and read the next one? Because this is a whole hedonism idea grilling.
Yeah, so Jonathan also sent another message about hedonism idea grilling. And he said his garden has reached that happy state where he has tomatoes, bell peppers, and onions all available. So last weekend, he made a batch of salsa rojo. And he said the way he learned to do this was to cut the veggies into wedges, removing pepper seeds, brush with olive oil, grill, shaking on salt and pepper, remove the tomato skins, and blend, adding lime juice or zest, salt, and olive oil to taste. Makes a fantastic end of summer treat. We eat it with many things, including grilled cheeses, chips, and grits. And it's good, quote unquote, while supplies last, which typically isn't very long. So that was my weekend hedonism. And he also asked if Bill or I either had anything unusual we like to create on a grill. And I answered him with, anymore, no one's scared to throw something on the grill. So I'm not sure if there's anything deemed unusual at this point. Russ never allowed me near the grill. That was his domain. But things from the grill I enjoy include pizza, corn on the cob, panzanella salad ingredients, grilling the bread, zucchini, and onion until charred, fresh carrots and parsnips, asparagus, especially if it's wrapped in bacon, scallops, tofu, pineapple, apples, pears, peaches. Any fruit is amazing grilled. And lemons, which is great for fish. Or for a lemonade I make using grilled lemons, grilled thyme, honey, and almond extract. So what does Bill do?
I don't really grill anything unusual. Plus I have a Traeger, so I mean that's sort of my grill that I have.
Right.
It's modified because I got an aftermarket controller that we put on it, so we can, do more interesting things with it. But I do find that I like the taste of all the food that comes off the Traeger, and so we have tried various things to we've done like mac and cheese in it and a bunch of other random dishes that would otherwise be baked or right. slow cooked somewhere else, and I've done them on the Traeger, and I'm just always astonished at how good even like just grilling chicken on it. Right. Disgusting chicken breasts. I only say that because we eat them all the time. But I can't screw it up. Like literally, for some reason, on that particular device, I cannot screw it up. So, I highly recommend using a grill that doesn't allow you to screw food up because you can do it pretty easily.
Well, Traegers and stuff are basically just flat top stoves.
No, that's Blackstone. That's Blackstone.
Oh, is it Blackstone? Okay.
Yeah, Traeger's like a pellet. It's a pellet grill. So basically,
gotcha.
It's a smoker that can get really hot.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's generally a smoker. And I will recommend if you have like a Traeger or something like that, definitely get an aftermarket controller because it is way more efficient and actually way smarter. I think the built-in Traeger controller only just like uses like some kind of mathematical equation to run the auger at a certain speed for filling, and it really doesn't like shut off the fan and stuff like that when your temperature rises too high. The new controller I have is like, it shuts everything off, make sure that like the temperature stays pretty much right where it's supposed to be the whole time throughout the entire cook. So
Nice.
highly recommend dropping, $40 on an aftermarket controller and tossing the original one in the trash.
Yeah.
Because it's a good container and stuff like that. And perhaps, somebody's probably saying, oh, you can use the other brand. I can't even remember, the Black Iron or something. I don't even know what the heck it's called. There's another one that I think Lowe's sells or something like that. That's basically a Traeger knockoff. Or you have the Mastercraft, the big square boxes that are vertical and stuff like that. But this is the one I got for Father's Day many years ago, and I still have it, and it still feeds my family very often. Well, why don't you go ahead and cover the subscribers and supporters, Cheryl?
Alrighty then. So this week for our free Patreons, we had David Helmana. For PayPal, we had Jim McKenzie. For Facebook, we had Adam Coble III and Robert McNeil. On X, we had Shining Lily 43. Discord, we had Casey9YIJ, which is Mark. AJ5CR, which is Anne. And N8XYM, which is Mike. And for our live show, we had Steve, KJ5T.
Yes, our one live listener, because we are recording on a Wednesday evening, which is very odd for us. Yes. So hopefully we'll see you all when we record this coming weekend. And I'm pretty certain I don't have anything that would prevent me from being on the show. Oh. I still might be a little late because we are having rehearsals on Sunday. We have rehearsals every Sunday, but they finish up an hour before I'm supposed to be here. So hopefully, cross fingers.
You'll make it. Yeah.
We'll always have the show, except for it could be a smidge, like a little late, but not terribly late.
Yeah.
And any other things? I'm just seeing if there's any other notes that we possibly wanted to include in this particular episode. No, I don't see any. We did I thought we got another piece of feedback too about another product that was in the realm of the SDR oxide that we mentioned last time in our Weekender episode. What was it called?
I must have missed that.
Was it just recently or was it directly to me?
It must have been directly to you because I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah, it was somewhere. Somebody had mentioned, and I think I bookmarked it. I think they mentioned an application for amateur radio called Zeus, and I had found that before. Amateur radio. I just want to Google it real quick. Zeus Radio. I think that's it. Is this it? This is kind of looking like it. Yes. So I will research this, and I think we'll do like a couple of compilation episodes of interesting software bits. Cheryl and I were talking prior to this recording about sort of doing some interesting grouped featured topics, and kind of not worrying so much about getting these short topics, news items out, only because sometimes they're dated and they stay dated and stuff like that. And unless they're terribly relevant to what we're doing in our own journey in amateur radio and Linux, sometimes it does kind of fall flat and it's not interesting. But Cheryl did find an interesting article of games that allow you to learn Linux. And I thought, well, we have lots of games that help you learn amateur radio as well. So perhaps we can do a full educational episode of all the interesting applications and games that you can use to learn ham radio, Morse code, command line use in Linux and stuff like that. So if you have anything that perhaps we haven't seen, which we're not going to tell you what we've seen, and that you would suggest to have included in that list, go ahead and send us an email at info@lhspodcast.info or drop us a note here on the Discord, and we will take a look at it.
Yes, definitely.
But I think that is finally it. So, Cheryl, why don't you steer this ship on out of the harbor?
Alrighty then. That brings us down to the end of the show, and thank you for listening to episode 627. We'll catch you next time with our featured topic episode. For Russ, K52X, I'm Cheryl, W5MOO.
And I'm Bill, NE4RD73.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Linux in the Ham Shack. LHS is a community-sponsored podcast. Live recordings are Sunday nights at 8 o'clock Central Time. Our homepage can be found at lhspodcast.info. You can support the podcast via Patreon at patreon.com/LHS podcast. We're also on Discord, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and Mastodon. Contact us via email at info@lhspodcast.info or via voicemail at 190954777469. That's 1909 LHS show. We also have merch. So until next we meet, remember to always heed your hedonism.